Welcome once again to Energy Literacy Training, module number 8. And it is titled as Avoid the Use of Energy by 1/3. In the last module, we have learned that we should use solar energy with the right approach. Otherwise, you are going to create a problem 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line about the recycling of the modules and the environmental damage that it will create. And therefore, we should use the right approach. The first step of that right approach is avoid the use of energy by 1/3. Why do I say that? Let us establish this concept. Why do I say that we should avoid the use of energy by 1/3? Well, let me quote today. The Gandhiji said that earth has enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. So when we think about it, why did he say that? Why? And he said that 100 years ago. Why did he say that? Earth has enough for everybody's need, not for anybody's greed. And when you look at that statement carefully, I think one simple reason why did he say that is because the size of the planet and all its resources are limited, isn't it? Our planet is hanging in the universe. We cannot communicate and take materials to some other planet. So all resources of the planet is constant. The size of Mother Earth itself is a constant. We cannot stretch Earth and make it bigger, isn't it? We cannot increase the amount of water on the planet. We cannot increase the amount of air, amount of soil. Everything is finite. When everything is finite and fixed, our consumption should also be finite and fixed, isn't it? Are we limiting our consumption? No, isn't it? In fact, look at what every country in the world is trying to do. Every country is trying to increase their production, increase the generation, increase the GDP. And for increasing production, GDP and everything, what we do? We take resources from the planet Earth, isn't it? We take minerals from the Earth, we take water from the Earth. But all resources are finite. How it is possible that we can continue to increase more and more? How it is possible that we can continue to increase production and consumption and GDP all the time? Is it possible? Think about it. No, it is not. It's very simple to understand. It is not possible. Therefore, one important rule that we need to follow and adopt is to limit our consumption of all resources, whether it is water, whether it is clothing, whether it is minerals, whether it is machines, everything we should limit the consumption. That's a very important and fundamental for human existence. So therefore, the first rule of limiting our consumption is to avoid the usage of resources. And in this case, we are worrying about electricity, we are worrying about energy, and therefore, the first thing we should do is avoid the use of electricity. So avoid means what? Avoid means stop using some of the resources or some of the appliances, or reduce the duration of usage. Stop. Okay, this is what I'm saying is stop using some of the appliances or resources, or at least reduce the usage of it completely. That is avoid. And I'll come to this. What does it mean? So somebody can say that let us use solar energy. Solar energy is abundant. We can use as much as possible, isn't it? But no. Even we think of solar energy and fulfilling all our energy needs with solar energy, it is very important to avoid the use of solar energy also, if possible. Yes, it may sound shocking to you, but I will tell you the logic why it is possible and it should be that avoid the use of solar energy as a first rule as much as possible. Also, why? Because there is no manufacturing in the world that does not have environmental impact. Everything that you manufacture in this world will have some impact. You need to use energy, we need to produce it, you need to use minerals, there will be byproducts, there will be pollutants that are created, there will be need of recycling, there will be a lot of things that happens when you manufacture something. And therefore, the environmental impact will always be there, even if you use solar energy technologies or renewable energy technologies. I hope it is clear to you that there will be some impact even due to the use of renewable energy or solar energy. Let us take an example of solar electricity. Solar electricity can be produced with the solar panel, right? But there are many components other than solar panels. You need structures, you need wires, you need batteries, you need electronics. There are many things that you need. Each of this production will have some environmental impact. The environmental impact may be much smaller as compared to coal electricity. The environmental impact of solar electricity may be much smaller as compared to coal electricity, but it is not going to be zero, right? So therefore, if it is possible to avoid the use of solar energy, we should do that. Well, what are the things we require to produce solar electricity? We require many things, and I'm going to quickly show you what are the things that happens and manufactured before we use solar panel and generate electricity. Well, first of all, we need silicon. Most of the solar modules are produced using silicon, and for purifying silicon, we require a lot of energy. We need to melt silicon at 1800 degrees centigrade, 2000 degrees centigrade, 2-3 times. That takes a lot of energy. Then we need to produce silicon wafer, and that also requires energy. Then we need to make solar cell out of silicon wafer. That requires energy. There are many pollutant gases that are used. And then we need to make solar modules. And for making solar modules, you need glass, you need aluminum frame, you need encapsulant. All of this will have some environmental impact. They will use some energy and they will have some environmental impact. But not only this thing, not only solar panel and silicon and solar cell, but we also need batteries. To manufacture batteries, you need energy, and there are, the chemicals that will also has to be disposed somewhere. That also that are also going to emit some pollutants. We need to produce some electronics, some inverter, so that you can convert the DC electricity from solar panel to AC electricity. That is going to have some side effect. We are also going to need some structure to mount solar panels. We are also going to need some cables to generate and transmit solar electricity from one rooftop to room and everywhere else. What I'm trying to say is that each of this component needs to be manufactured. That will have some pollutant. They need to be disposed of after the life is over, maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years. So therefore, we need to avoid using all this thing as much as possible if it is avoidable. Though I must tell you that do not get confused. The carbon emission and the pollutions due to the use of solar panels and batteries and structure and wire is much, much less than the use of coal-based electricity. The use of petrol and use of diesel, it is much less. But it is not zero. Just take a note of it. So therefore, we should use solar energy, but avoid using solar energy if it is possible to avoid. That is what the sense I want to bring it. That is a step number 1, and that follows the Gandhian philosophy of that there is enough for everyone's need, but not for anyone's greed. So next question is, what can be avoided? I need everything that I'm using. I need ACs, I need refrigerator, I need cooler, I need washing machine, I need this, I need that. What can be avoided? Isn't it? Are there things that can be avoided? Yes, there are many things. And when I became aware about the dangers of the climate change, the catastrophic nature of the climate change, I started looking myself, what can be avoided? Well, there are many things that I have avoided. I do not use air conditioner at home. There is no refrigerator at home. There is no microwave at home. There is no geyser at home. And we are happy. My family is happy. It is not that we are not rich and we cannot buy all this thing. We can buy all this thing, but simply because using all those things will have environmental impact, which my children are going to pay for it. And therefore, as a responsible father, I should limit my own consumption. Well, what can be avoided? Number 1, I believe that the use of air conditioners can be avoided. For the logic I'm going to give you, you will yourself realize why we should avoid use of air conditioner. Well, for a very simple reason. that if you use air conditioner for 1 hour, a typical 1.5 ton, 1 ton air conditioner for about 1 hour, it requires 1 unit of electricity. 1 unit. And we have seen in earlier modules that 1 unit of electricity results in emission of 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide, approximately 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide. 1 unit is 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide, because 80 to 85% or about 80% energy that comes from the coal. And this 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide, when it is emitted in the atmosphere, some of it gets absorbed in short time, but most of it remains in the atmosphere for about 200 to 400 long years. 200 to 400 long years, this carbon dioxide going to be stay in the atmosphere. And what is the job of carbon dioxide? Global warming. So it will continue to do global warming for 200 to 400 years. So in summary, 1 hour of comfort, 1 hour of use of air conditioner is 1 hour of comfort. So 1 hour of comfort is discomfort for 200 to 400 years. And who is going to bear this discomfort? I think most of the people who are using AC will die after 40, 50, 60, 70 years. So who is going to bear the discomfort for 200, 400 years? Their children and their children and their children. Generations and generations are going to bear the fruits of what you're doing right now. If you look from this perspective, isn't it really criminal to use air conditioner today? Especially when it is running based on the coal-based electricity. That's really, really bad thing, criminal thing, because our future generation, our own children are going to pay the price of your comfort that you are enjoying right now. Well, we have been living without air conditioner for a long, long time, isn't it? Thousands of years. We survived. So air conditioner is not necessary. In fact, it is not good for health, because if you stay out of the air conditioner and non-air conditioned area, it will have impact on your body. Well, what else can be avoided? The use of geyser can be avoided. When we use electricity, which is coming from the grid, for heating the water, that's another bad thing. Because just one bath, whenever you take a bath with good warm water, just one bath, you require about 1 unit of electricity. Typically 2 to 3 kilowatt of geyser that we use it for 20-30 minutes, it will consume 1 unit of electricity, one bath. Does it mean that you should not take bath with the warm water? No, you should. When it is winter, you should. But rather than using grid-based electricity, you should use the LPG-based. That is much more efficient. And also, it is not instant push button thing, right? So when you push button in your geysers, you tend to misuse or overuse the energy. And when you heat it up with the help of LPG, you are going to be limited. So that's why very important. But one bath is equal to 1 unit of electricity, and 1 unit of electricity is equal to 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission, and 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide is 200 to 400 years of contribution to the climate change. And that's another, personally I believe, is really, really bad thing to happen. It is almost criminal thing to happen. Especially when you are not the one who is going to bear the fruit of 1 hour of comfort or one bath of warm water. It is your children who are going to pay for it, and your grandchildren who are going to pay for it. So the use of refrigerator should be avoided. So the use of air conditioner should be avoided if possible. What else? You can avoid many other things at home. For example, use of refrigerator can be avoided. I keep giving this example that milk, is produced in India from the stories of, Krishna. There were no fridge. And centuries the Indian economy, we have been using milk. And there are villages still where they do not use refrigerator. Does their milk get spoiled? Milk is the most perishable item we keep in our refrigerator. Does it get spoiled in villages? No. You just boil it twice and it is fine. Vegetables, most of the vegetables can be okay outside the fridge for 2-3 years, just 2-3 days. Sorry, you just wrap it in a kind of a little moist cloth, and that's it. use of microwave can be avoided. It is anyway said that food should be, we should eat food when it is warm, when it is fresh. Keeping the food in a refrigerator and then taking out and heating up, it reduces its energy. And in India we say, Jaisa an, vaisa man. So if you are going to eat food which is not high on energy, your own energy is also going to be down. So that should be avoided. Use of microwave should be avoided. Ironing with electricity can be avoided. That's less efficient rather than using that coal-based iron, or rather than not using the clothes with iron. When everybody starts using the clothes which are not ironed, then it becomes a common thing to happen, isn't it? So basically what I'm trying to say is there are many things that can be avoided in our day-to-day life. Only this will happen when you become aware and sensitive that each of your action is going to have a reaction, it is going to have a side effect, and the payment of that side effect is going to be done by our future generation and their future generation. And therefore, not for the government, not for the society, at least for the sake of your own children, you should avoid the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy. So a thumb rule that you should follow is how much should we avoid? Avoid by 1/3. It's very easy to remember, and it is very easy to do that. Very simple thing, if you can avoid very easily, you can avoid your energy needs by 1/3, and I'm sure the many energy needs can be avoided and should be avoided for the betterment of our future generation. Well, so after knowing, and I've given several examples, what are the things can be avoided, after knowing that significant energy use can be avoided, what comes in your mind? Okay, I will do it, I feel good about it, or no, why should I avoid it? That's not that's nonsense, why should I do this? Well, I have put things in perspective, and it is your choice which perspective you adopt and what actions you take.